I think fandom protocol is a very timely conversation to have right now, especially in light of what's happening with the actors from Revenge Love, whose name I unfortunately can't recall at the moment. Because what do you mean he's been mobbed multiple times? I couldn't even finish watching the videos of him being grabbed and shoved by fans because if that's my child, I would have gone absolutely fucking ballistic. It's one thing for the management company to overlook security, which is already careless, especially when the series is gaining so much traction right now. But it's a whole other level of wrong for fans to feel entitled to physically grab at someone. Pulling at him like he's public property, that's just assault. Can we agree on that? I'm an 18. That's SB19's Fandom, in case anyone does not know. They're a Filipino boy band, and that's using that term boy band very loosely. Josh Colin Santos is literally my phone wallpaper, and if I meet him in real life, you can be assured that I will be slowly dying inside. But what I would not do is go up to his face and invade his personal space, like he owes me anything. Because common courtesy still applies, even and especially when someone's famous. What kills me is that some fans who violate personal space would lose their minds if a random stranger did that to them. They'd probably cry harassment, and rightfully so. So, why does basic decency disappear the moment a person gets famous? You treat other people how you want your boundaries to be treated, whether or not they're famous. These things are not that hard. And while we're here, can we talk about how every time I scroll through social media, there's outrage over some idol or some actor drinking, smoking, existing near women, meaning living their life as some adult would? And what do you mean that it's a disappointment for some guy in his 20s to do adult things in private? Acting, performing, and making music are these people's job. Outside of that is their private life that you, as a fan, is not entitled to. Physical boundaries should never be optional, and what happened to ZU from Revenge Love shows a worrying disregard for personal space. Barricades should not be required on every interaction with fans because fans should be responsible for their own behaviors whether or not the management are being responsible for their artist's safety. Your support does not entitle you to the actor's time and attention in their private life. No artist owes you a photo, interaction, or public availability. I honestly think that social media has skewed our idea of boundaries. Constant online access to idols and actors creates a false sense of closeness that does not exist in real life. And nowhere is that more obvious than in BL fandom spaces, where the obsession with on screen pairings can become unhinged. The amount of vitriol some actors get for just interacting with someone outside of their designated pair is ridiculous. It's as if some fans genuinely forget these are real people with lives, friendship, and relationships that aren't scripted for public consumption. Supporting a couple in a series shouldn't mean policing their lives off screen. Within fan communities, there should be a shared norms and unspoken rules about what's acceptable. And I say this as someone who's deep in it, deep in the stan culture. Like I said, I'm an SB19 fan, and in the fandom, one thing I've always appreciated is that when someone crosses a line, other fans speak up because silence enables them, it enables harm. And we all want the people we support to feel safe and respected. I follow SB19 religiously, and I've watched almost every performance they've done online, and I've probably seen every fan come twice. But if you ask me who they're dating or what's going on in their personal lives, I wouldn't know. And more importantly, I wouldn't need to know because that's not for me to know or for me to be concerned about. I am here for their music, for their artistry and their craft, and what they do outside of that, short of anything criminal or genuinely questionable, is none of my business. And honestly, I would hate for my behavior as a fan to reflect badly on the people I support. I would never want SB19 to second guess a decision or feel like they have to censor who they are because of the kind of energy they are attracting. Because that's what it comes down to. We don't just represent the fandom, sometimes we represent the artist. And I want the people I admire to be proud of the community around them and not be wary of it. Fans are important, essential even to the success of any artist. And in the BL industry, that's especially true. These shows rely on emotional investment, on pairing chemistry, on fan loyalty to not just the story, but the people who plays those roles. Parasocial relationships are built into the marketing in the BL industry, and often in the longevity of a show or a CP. The audience is the fuel that keeps everything running around here, but that doesn't give us a free pass. If we want to be taken seriously as fans, as a community, we also need to know when to check ourselves. Support doesn't mean ownership. Loving a series or a ship doesn't entitle us to anything. You can root for someone, care for their work, celebrate their impact without stepping over their personal lines. If we're part of what makes them successful, then we should be also part of what makes them feel safe. I'm still absolutely appalled just thinking about that boy being mobbed by strangers, physically grabbed and pulled at by grown adults as he tried to just walk through an airport. I can just imagine how scared he must have been, the panic, the disorientation, and the complete lack of safety in that space. And these weren't just flashes of chaos, these were adults, full grown women, pushing forward and crowding him, reaching for him. And I just have to ask, what do you even say for yourself with that kind of attitude, with that kind of behavior? What part of you thought that that was okay? What part of you genuinely believed that that behavior was in any way acceptable? Like I said, it's a violation. I think it's an assault, plain and simple. If you claim to care about someone, the bare minimum is making sure they feel safe in your presence. And if you can't offer that, what does that make you?